Darcy. And hello, thanks for streaming with us. We really appreciate it. We really do. Boy, the weather has just been absolutely beautiful. You know, I don't know about you, but I'd love to see some real stormy days. But it looks like we're going to continue to hang on to the beautiful weather for a while. I do see the pattern changing next week, and hopefully it will bring us some rain. Computer models, they're all over the place, but I think I've kind of smoothed them out a little bit. And I'll tell you what I think is going to happen. But anyway, I hope you're having a great day today, and thanks for streaming with us. All right, beautiful weather for the next several days. Looks great. This weekend is going to be mostly sunny, and Sunday is going to be breezy. I don't know about you, but I like to play golf. I usually don't have a lot of time to play golf, but if I was going to pick a day, Saturday or Sunday, I'd probably pick Saturday because Sunday is going to be breezy. All right, let's take a look at the temperature outside right now. We're sitting at 69 degrees, not a cloud in the sky. Normal low 57 this morning. We were pretty close to it, 56. Record low 33, record high 99. Big extremes on the records, and another long-standing record from 1963. All right, lots of sunshine today. Winds will be a little breezy, I think, this afternoon, so the fire danger is kind of elevated a little bit. Just keep that in mind. Don't burn outdoors. We don't have a red flag warning or a fire weather watch, but just kind of keep that in mind. Current temperature, again, 69 is the reading. 70 degrees at Bernie, 71 Hondo, Seguin 74, so we're really bouncing off of those morning lows, and the southerly winds are definitely kicking in. Especially in the hill country and some of our western counties, we've got elevated fire danger, very high. Again, we don't have a red flag warning, but just kind of keep that in mind. In eastern counties, a little bit more moisture to work with, so we don't have much of a problem there. All right, high pressure is over towards Louisiana. We've got a trough of low pressure out to the west, and in between, the pressure gradient between the low and the high is getting a little tighter, and that's why I think the winds are going to be picking up. If they haven't already done so out there this afternoon, especially late this afternoon, we'll see those winds picking up a little bit. Let me back this up just a hair right there. High temperature, mid-80s. I think we'll hit about 86 for today. It is cold across the Great Lakes and Buffalo, New York. Winter just kind of hanging on. I don't know if maybe you're viewing and you're from Chicago or from Buffalo. Winter hangs on a little bit longer, of course, there than it does here. Highs today only 40 degrees over there. Now, I thought this was interesting. Minneapolis, St. Paul, 59, Chicago, 39. Without even looking it up, I would be willing to bet that Minneapolis, St. Paul has some kind of westerly component to that wind, and that's why they're 20 degrees warmer there in Minneapolis, St. Paul, as opposed to Chicago. All right, so let's take a look at the pattern, because this is going to determine everything for us. If I was going to draw up a pattern, and if I wanted not a cloud in the sky, this is the pattern that I would have. A big ridge of high pressure over the Baja, a northwest flow aloft, and bam, there you go. Now the question is, how long is it going to last? Well, here's a look at Thursday, same thing. Friday, same thing. Big storm system on the East Coast, not going to help us out. Saturday, pretty much the same thing. Sunday. Now, next week, that's when things change, and we're going to have to really watch how this whole thing evolves, because it's going to get really complicated, I think. We've got one storm system that's going across the Great Lakes. That's going to trail a cold front through here. By the way, I'm looking at the European model. That's going to push a cold front in here Tuesday and Wednesday that's going to barely just make it. But it may give us a 20% chance of a shower Tuesday into Wednesday of next week. And then we'll have to wait and see what happens with our system out west in the Baja. Notice how from the Baja there in California and also Arizona, how it was a ridge this week, but then it's replaced by an upper level low out there. Sometimes these lows, they get stuck. Sometimes they don't ever kick through. The timing is really difficult, but I would say a slight chance on Thursday going into Friday. And then unfortunately, I just think the timing is right for the Easter weekend that this system gets closer to us. And we may have some stronger thunderstorms, some spring-style thunderstorms over the Easter weekend. And it kind of seems like a lot of times during that Easter weekend that we'll pick up some thunderstorm action. So it kind of makes sense. But as we head through the day today, I think 86 for a high. Morning low will be in the 50s tomorrow again. And then high temperatures, lower 90s, or pretty close to 90 on Thursday, so a little bit warmer for Thursday. And let's take a look at that Sunday. Oh, hey, let's see. Karen, what was the oak count? You caught me. I was doing something else that I had to do. I don't have it. I will have it at noon. I can tell you what yesterday's was. I know that doesn't help you out. But oak is still heavy, probably 1,000 or a couple of thousand, and oak or mold is probably 100 or 200. I'm so sorry. I usually like to have that for you, so my apologies. On Sunday, you can see the wind gust there. Winds gusting up to 25, 30 miles per hour. Sunday is going to be quite breezy. All right. Well, Karen, you have a great day too, and I appreciate it. I'm sorry about that. You caught me. All right. Let's take a look at the 14-day. We've got 86 for high today, 90 on Thursday, 86 Friday. Look at that broken frontal boundary. It's so weak. That's what I show when there's a weak frontal boundary. It's going to shift the winds barely to the north and east just Friday morning. Not even going to change the low temperature as opposed to Thursday morning, basically the same. Now, it may take the highs down a couple of degrees, 86 on Friday, Saturday 88, Sunday breezy, high 91, Monday 92. And then Tuesday into Wednesday, 20% chance of a shower. Another weak frontal boundary. We're getting to that time of the year where these fronts are having a harder time moving through. And then Thursday, 87. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'm going to have to juggle these numbers around. At this point, I think I'm going to leave it this way, but I may up the Sunday to 30% as well. So that weekend just looks like a really good weekend for scattered showers and storms. And I may have to put a little bit more cloud cover than what I've got here, and may have to even put a 20% on Monday. So basically the bullseye is that 19th and 20th time frame. We may be looking at some thunderstorms, and some of those storms could be strong. All right, again, appreciate you streaming with us. Make sure and watch the noon, 4, 5, 6, and 10, and I'll be back tomorrow morning, and I'll be back here tomorrow as well. All right, have a great day. We'll see you later.